The year is 09 AD, and the unthinkable is about to happen. 3 Roman legions, nearly 20,000 of the most disciplined soldiers on earth, marching deep into the dark, tangled woods of Germania. They aren't expecting a battle, they're expecting to collect taxes. But within 3 days, every single one of those soldiers, their general and their sacred eagle standards will vanish. This is the story of Arminius, a Roman-trained double agent, who orchestrated the greatest disaster in Roman military history and forever changed the map of Europe in the Teutoburg Forest. Rome stands at the peak of its power, its legions having crushed all major threats and expanded the empire to the very edges of the known world. West of the Rhine River, the province of Gaul is stable. East of the Rhine, the newly conquered Germania is considered the next great prize. A land of deep forests, fierce tribes, and immense potential wealth. Rome's most ambitious general, the Emperor Augustus, tasked Publius Quinctilius Varus, a man of noble birth and administrative experience, with transforming the scattered German tribes into Roman citizens. Varus was accustomed to dealing with compliant provincials. He was about to make a fatal assumption that would cost him his life and change the course of European history. Varus commanded 3 entire legions, the 17, the 18, and the 19 long, with 6 cohorts of auxiliaries and 3 cavalry wings, totaling over 20,000 men. For a Roman governor, this force was not for war, but for enforcing law, collecting taxes, and establishing Roman civilization. Varus had spent the summer of 09 AD deep in Germania, establishing courts and organizing the census. As autumn approached, the time came to march his army back to their winter quarters near the Rhine. This seasonal march was expected to be a peaceful procession, but in the heart of Germania, a deeper game was being played. Leading the conspiracy was a 25-year-old chieftain named Arminius of the Carusi tribe. Crucially, Arminius was not just a German barbarian. He was a Roman citizen, a former auxiliary commander who was trained in Roman warfare and even served in the emperor's personal retinue. He knew Varus personally, and, more importantly, he knew the Roman military mindset and its vulnerabilities. Arminius spent weeks gaining Varus's trust, even warning him of false minor uprisings to draw the legions off their established route and into the one place where Roman discipline and formation are useless: the Teutoburg Forest. Varus received news of a localized revolt, and, convinced by the assurances of Arminius, he diverted his huge force into the dense, muddy woods. The weather turned foul, the rains began, and the army began to stretch out into a single vulnerable column nearly 10 miles long. The legions were burdened, not with battle gear, but with camp followers, servants, baggage trains, and the heavy equipment of provincial administration. The path turned into a swamp. Trees blocked the way, and the famed Roman military order began to dissolve into chaos. This was the moment Arminius had waited for. He and his German allies, the Carusi, Marsi, Chatti, and others, fell upon the strung-out column. The ambush was total and devastating. The tribesmen, who had prepared the ground by digging trenches, building concealed barricades, and cutting halfway through tree trunks to make them fall easily, were in their element. They struck from the hidden, elevated positions of the forest, showering the Romans with javelins and arrows, then vanishing back into the trees. The legionaries, unable to form their classic 3-line battle formation or deploy their cavalry, were forced to fight piecemeal in a swampy labyrinth. The battle was not a single engagement, but a brutal 3-day running slaughter. On the first night, the Romans managed to construct a desperate fortified camp. On the second day, they fought their way out of the immediate trap and attempted a flanking maneuver. But the German attacks only intensified. The weather was their greatest enemy, ruining their bows and shields and turning the morale of the troops to despair. By the third day, the last vestiges of Roman order collapsed. The command structure shatters. Varus, seeing his army annihilated, his eagle standards threatened with capture, and his own life forfeit. Chooses the only honorable Roman exit. He falls upon his own sword. The remaining Romans were hunted down and killed, taken prisoner, or ritualistically sacrificed. The loss was unimaginable. 3 legions, 3 eagles, the sacred military standards are gone. The greatest single defeat suffered by Rome since Cannae. When the news finally reaches Rome, the aging Emperor Augustus is said to have screamed, "Quintilius Varus, give me back my legions." The Roman state was shaken to its core. The empire launched bloody retaliatory campaigns over the next few years, successfully retrieving 2 of the 3 lost eagles and exacting vengeance. But the underlying strategic reality was cemented by the defeat. The Battle of the Teutoburg Forest decisively halted Rome's eastward expansion. The Rhine River, meant to be just another administrative boundary, became the permanent, fortified northern border of the Roman Empire for the next 4 centuries. The dream of a Roman Germania was abandoned. The identity and language of modern Germany were preserved, and the political and cultural geography of Europe was fundamentally fixed by that terrible 3-day massacre in the Sodden. Gloomy darkness of the forest. The legacy of the Teutoburg Forest is clear. A line was drawn in the mud that Rome could never cross. What if Arminius had failed? How would Europe look today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you were gripped by this epic tale of betrayal and destruction, please like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into forgotten history.